Hey everyone, this is Andrew Ty and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm very excited to show you that we have the new announcement for the M2 Pro and M2 Max chips. They are now ready to order in the new refreshed lineup of the MacBook Pro 14 and 16 inch. So today we're going to be talking about some of the improvements that the M2 Pro and M2 Max have over the original M1 variants, and we'll be taking a first glance at potential gaming performance improvements and also talking about whether or not you should be upgrading from the M1 Pro, M1 Max to the M2 Pro, M2 Max chips. So if you haven't subscribed already, then please consider subscribing and you'll be able to keep up to date with the latest Mac gaming news. So first up is the new M2 Pro chip. So the big news here is that the M2 Pro and the M2 Max now support 12 CPU cores, and the number of high efficiency cores remains the same as the M1 Pro and the M1 Max. However, we now have the introduction of 4 high efficiency cores, which is 2 more efficiency cores than the original M1 Pro and M1 Max. And in theory, this should result in 20% faster CPU performance than the original M1 Pro. Furthermore, the amount of GPU cores for the M2 Pro has increased. We now have 19 GPU cores, which should result in 30% faster GPU performance. And next up is the M2 Max chip. So this new refreshed chip also features 8 high performance cores and 4 high efficiency cores, which is the same as the M2 Pro. And we have the same projection of a 20% faster CPU performance increase. However, the big news here is that the M2 Max now features a GPU with up to 38 cores. This is an addition of 6 GPU cores over the original M1 Max chip, and Apple says this is going to result in a 30% better GPU performance, which is potentially going to make the biggest difference for gaming on a Mac. So unfortunately, Apple was pretty much silent in terms of gaming performance on the new M2 Pro and M2 Max chips. In the announcement, all of their benchmarks focused on productivity. This is despite the fact that within the very same announcement, they also demonstrated ports of No Man's Sky and Resident Evil Village working on the new variant of the Mac Mini, which now supports the M2 and the M2 Pro chips. So therefore, if we want to find out the potential gaming performance improvements, then we're just going to have to wait until we get our hands on these new machines. So should you be upgrading to the M2 Pro and the M2 Max chips? Well, if you already have one of the original MacBook Pro 14 and 16 inches, then the new M2 refreshers are pretty much going to be incremental increases only. And we have only a handful of small feature improvements. For example, the introduction of Wi-Fi 6E, support for 8K displays, and a maximum RAM increased up to 96 gigabytes. And also, if you're interested in gaming, then you're going to have to know that the macOS Apple Silicon platform is not the ideal place to get started. Spending any kind of extra money on an M2 Pro or M2 Max isn't going to fix the major fundamental compatibility issues and general lack of ports on macOS that are actually Apple Silicon compatible. So unless you absolutely need the added performance improvements of the M2 Pro or M2 Max chips, then I'd highly recommend that any money you would have allocated to an upgrade for gaming, you should really spend on a dedicated gaming device like a console or a PC, or even something like a Steam Deck. But personally, I'm very interested in the new improved gaming performance. I really like Apple Silicon Macs because of their high efficiency design, and also the fact that with enough tinkering, you can actually get a whole bunch of different games working on this potentially extremely powerful Apple Silicon hardware. So I'm definitely going to be ordering a couple of these MacBook Pros to test out. If you want to see me test out the performance of these new Macs running macOS games, Windows games, and also emulators too, then make sure to subscribe to my channel and I'll be doing a performance test as soon as I receive these new MacBook Pros. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.